What's up, guys? Welcome back to Supreme Micah. So, what I want to talk about in this upload is salt and the impact that it has on your body and muscles. So, I want to first say that salt overall, or sodium, is needed for your body to function. So, you may be wondering why. Well, salt actually is not produced by your body naturally. Sodium actually impacts the balance of your bodily fluids. Sodium is a nutrient, but this actually may come as a surprise for some of you. Sodium actually is an electrolyte. I've made a previous uploaded video to YouTube that speaks about water and overall the importance of the consumption of water. So, one of the reasonings why I actually mentioned in that upload that water was actually important was because of the electrolytes that is actually consumed because of that. This means that in regards to your muscle, the mobility, them moving, the contraction, that actually is all upon electrolytes. And other reasonings too, but for the most part, electrolytes actually directly impacts that. This is very important because when your muscles contract, your nerve acts as a pulse. This actually helps out with the functionality of your heart, which is also a muscle. So not only am I speaking about your bicep, okay, but I'm also talking about the most important thing, or at least one of the most important things within your body. It's also very important to understand that sodium actually can be very bad for you if it's consumed in high quantity. So, as referenced by the CDC, too much sodium consumption can actually lead to high blood pressure and other health-related issues. It's also very important that you understand that I'm not recommending to consume salt or more salt. I'm only providing information related to how the body actually functions. Now, I want to speak more about how salt actually affects your muscles. Now, we've already spoken about contractions and how salt can actually be directly impacted in regards to that, but can salt actually impact or have some type of effect on your actual muscle growth? Well, sodium actually helps, believe it or not, with the ability for your cells to actually absorb nutrients. Nutrients can be many different things, but one important thing is protein, which breaks down into amino acids. And for the most part, if you're in the gym and if you're attempting to build muscle, you will understand the reasoning of why it's important that your sodium levels are at a somewhat decent level. Because if your nutrients cannot be absorbed by cells, such as amino acids, that is actually going to impact your muscle recovery. When you rip those muscle fibers, okay, they need to be repaired. And that's repaired by amino acids. So your salt levels need to be at a stable level. Now, something else that I want to talk about, which I believe is very important, and it's important because it's a trend, especially amongst bodybuilders or those who are into fitness, and that is, do you actually have to care about salt if you're actually going to the gym and you're sweating? So, what I was actually able to obtain from research and reading is that overall, if you are going to the gym, you will actually decrease the amount of sodium that is within your body when you sweat. Now, this is really important to understand, okay? So, in regards to how your body functions in relation to sodium production, it doesn't actually produce this actual nutrient naturally, okay? So, here's the thing. You can actually only benefit from that actual saying or fact that if you do go to the gym and sweat, which is a fact, when you go to the gym, most people will sweat, okay? Now, will you be sweating enough, okay? So let's say someone say, okay, well, I can actually eat as much salt as I can, nor do I have to worry about it, because when I go to the gym, I sweat. Well, that is true, but it's only partially true. One thing that you have to understand is that if you're not sweating enough, it wouldn't matter. So if you are one of those people who may not be actually monitoring your salt intake, then this can be very dangerous for you. So just keep that in mind. Now, on top of what I just mentioned, you also have to remember too that sodium is a electrolyte, okay? So what you actually put out, you should be able to put right back in, but that should be done at a very safe level. So if you're watching this, just remember to make sure that you watch the levels of salt that you are consuming and that you also consult an actual doctor if it's something that you are concerned about, okay? Now, personally, for me, my own personal experience with salt, I tend to watch out after how much salt I'm actually consuming. And believe it or not, I don't eat a lot of junk food, which for the most part can also be sugar related. So it could be salt or sugar, but that's a discussion for a different day, okay? But mainly what I try to do is use different types of salt. Now, maybe in the future I can technically get into more content in relation to Himalayan salt or sea salt, okay? So right now I won't, but I think that that's something that is a discussion for another time or another video. But just make sure that you're choosing healthier options in regards to salt too. And if you feel like you need to be able to actually consume more salt, because chances are you can actually have not enough. And in that case, I'm no one to say that you are consuming too much or less, but just make sure that if you are struggling with something like that, that you take the necessary steps to be able to help improve that for yourself. Now, personally, in regards to mixing salt within my foods and not just solely mentioning junk food overall, which I don't consume, salt overall, I still watch out for that. Now, given me and my ability to be able to be actively fit and go to the gym, am I overly concerned about my levels of consumption of salt? Yes, but the thing is that I do actually go to the gym, and in regards to someone who may be unhealthy, such as someone who can be considered obese, okay? That may be a factor for them that is actually a higher risk compared to someone that may be a lot healthier, right? So just remember, okay, that you also have to do what's best for you. And in the long run, if you are doing what is good for your body, then you will definitely reap the benefits, okay? So just make sure that you stick with the facts, and just because someone says that you are excessively sweating, or if you, let's say, quote unquote, sweat, that you don't have to worry about salt, that is not necessarily the case. Guys, and please stay tuned for some more content in relation to how to actually stay active or physically fit while at home, okay? Now, due to recent circumstances, if you're watching this, I know there are a lot of people out there who may be confined to a space and they're technically not going to the gym as much, okay? So what I really want to do is help those people and try to figure out if there are some home remedies that can actually benefit you overall, because you can't actually physically be in the gym. So stay tuned for that. And I apologize, I also can't actually record new fitness videos. Now, depending on how long these circumstances last in regards to not being able to actually go to a gym, I think that I can actually come up with some very creative and thoughtful ways to be able to present some type of physical exercise, because I think that that's extremely important. So I want to also tell you I've been most recently doing a lot more cardio because I believe that that is extremely important, and a lot of people don't realize how much they walk throughout the day. And when you're walking to your car, when you're at work, when you're walking to the bathroom, when you're walking back to your car and walking up and down the stairs, there's a lot of actual steps going on there. And a lot of people, although they are physically doing, let's say, push-ups within their house or home, I think that actual cardio, if it's essentially just walking, can actually be highly beneficial to you. And I think that that's something that I really want to bring content for you in the future. So just make sure that you stay out on the look for that, okay? Guys, as always, I appreciate you for tuning into this channel. Make sure that you subscribe. Also hit the thumbs up button and leave a comment, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you.